Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I'm Erin Dodge. Welcome today to our podcast. Here with me is Melissa Rhodes, a public services specialist here at the Library District. Also with me is Diane Brown, a librarian. They're both on the 3D printing team. And we're here to talk about our 3D printers, what you can make with them, the programs that you can do to learn more about them. And welcome, Melissa and Diane.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
So we have 3D printers, yay! And what are they? For people who don't know, and what can people make with them? And tell us about them.
So at its most basic, a 3D printer is a machine that takes a design and turns it into a three-dimensional object.
Okay.
There are a lot of different brands, and there are a lot of different materials that can be used. There's ceramic. You can print with metal. You can print with resin. You can print with chocolate.
That sounds delicious.
Some years ago, someone made a 3D printer that could take the cast-offs from the coffee making process and made a coffee cup.
A coffee cup. Yes. A coffee cup made of coffee. That's great.
We can't do that.
We can't do that.
What we use is polylactic acid plastic, or PLA plastic. It comes on a spool just like this.
Okay.
And the machine feeds it into a heater that heats it up to melting point and then lays it down layer by layer like a really accurate glue gun to build up the design and the object.
And then we have lots of objects. I'm kind of veering, but we have tons of little objects that have been made. Do you want to, let's just jump into some of them really quick so people can get ideas of what they can make.
We have the Flexi Cat. There's a lot of Flexi designs on a site called Thingiverse.
And that could be a fun toy.
Yes.
For a kiddo, yeah. Or even a fidget for an adult. It sounds,
And there are fidget makers on Thingiverse as well. Thingiverse is one of the websites that we encourage people to go look at. It's where you can find already ready-made designs that are already in the file format that we use, and all you have to do is download them and then upload them to our submission form, as long as they meet some of our other requirements that we'll talk about later.
And just really quickly, if you want to go to Thingiverse, we have a link below in the description to go to our 3D printing webpage, and I believe that link is on there, so you can.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to try to spell it right now. We'll just move along. And then, so the Flexi Cat.
Flexi Cat. This is an adapter for a camera to take micro pictures.
Oh, interesting.
And we have this I designed based on some other designs that I saw. And it's a headphone holder. And I used calipers to make sure it would fit my desk nice and snugly.
Oh, so does it so that I can... It goes on the edge. Oh, wow.
Hang my headphones on them, and they're out of my way.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that makes me think of, if you have an idea for how to create something and maybe you've drawn it and you're like, well, now I don't know how to make it come to life. This is a way to do it.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
It's fantastic for prototyping.
Okay.
So you can see whether your design really works the way that you think it's going to be before you have it professionally produced for however many thousands of dollars.
Right. And before the podcast, we were talking a little bit about prototyping, and you just mentioned thousands of dollars. So what does it cost to get something 3D printed at the library?
At this time, we are not charging.
It's free. I kind of knew the answer. And so that's really incredible that we were talking about how that cost of getting something manufactured, that from an idea, from a drawing, from something that you've imagined, is thousands of dollars. But if you want to try it out, this is the way to go.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Definitely.
Okay.
As long as it fits our size and time limits.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's save that for a little bit later.
Yes.
Because I know I want to talk about, we have programs. We have 3D printing programs.
We do.
And we've had a few already, and we have some coming up. What kinds of things are the programs focusing on, and what can people learn during those programs?
The programs are very project-based.
Okay.
So at a program, everyone will be creating the same object. The projects are intended to teach very specific types of skills that you would use in a CAD program.
Okay.
And what we use in our programs is a free CAD program available for anyone online, and that's why we use it. We want this to be accessible to anyone, as long as you can find internet access, which includes internet access here at the library.
You can come to the library. We have computers and internet access.
Yes, then you can create a free account on Tinkercad. The caveat is you must be 13 years old to create your own account. If you're under 13, you need a parent. And for that reason, our programs are for teens and adults only at this time. They are really great ways to learn some basic CAD skills. And
what does CAD stand for again?
Computer assisted design, I believe.
Design, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like what architects and things use, right? It's for building little things or this building we're sitting in right now.
That's right. Yes.
So it's about three-dimensional design.
Yes.
Okay.
And Tinkercad is, in part, it is created as a tool for children to learn basic CAD.
Okay.
There are some, you're not going to be able to design super complicated things in Tinkercad, but it is a great place to start for free. Right. It has tutorials in the software that you can take. We also have tutorials on our digital library in LinkedIn Learning. Oh, okay. So for anyone with an in-district library card who has access to our digital resources, that's a great resource. Yeah. And so that is the program. We've already done one program this fall for making a spooky cookie cutter.
Oh, cute.
And
cookie cutters, custom, like you could do your initials. If you have like a family pet, you could make one that looks like your pet. For example, cookie cutters or little toys. That's fun.
Or wall hangings. Doodads.
Now, we were talking about these little guys. So the color we have is this gray, right? So everything comes out gray. Mm-hmm. But you can paint it?
It takes acrylic paint really well. You do want to kind of scuff it up with some sandpaper. Okay. Just so if it starts to chip, it won't come off in one giant piece.
Oh, okay.
Like peeling an egg. It also takes super glue really well.
Oh, okay.
So one way to get things to fit within some of our parameters is to cut it into pieces.
Do it into pieces and then assemble.
And then glue them together.
Okay.
I did a really nice Hogwarts castle that way.
Oh, fun. Oh.
We were helping a customer yesterday with that very process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what kinds of things, what else can people make in the programs, or what have they made and will they make in these upcoming 3D printing programs?
We have also done a keychain/key fob program. And in December, we are doing a holiday ornaments program. And that one is going to be on Thursday, December 7th at 3:30 p.m.
And all the programs are here at Spokane Valley because that's where the 3D printers live.
Correct.
So come. And folks might be like, well, don't you have another printer that's a 3D printer? And we're not going to talk about that today, but just to kind of, if there's any confusion, we do have a Glowforge laser printer at North Spokane that does printing quite differently. It cuts with lasers and heat. It doesn't do the additive layer by layer by layer build. So we're not talking about that today, but we're talking about this one.
In our quest to inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators, the library offers a wide range of programs and resources on science, technology, engineering, and math, together referred to as STEM. For young explorers, our STEM programs ignite imagination and hands-on learning. Did you know you can design your own video game, code a robot, create a marble roller coaster, or try out exciting science experiments? Together, we make STEM fun. Your library also has STEM resources you can explore at home. You can check out books on great STEM topics and borrow cool stuff like telescopes and exploration kits from our Library of Things. Unleash your creativity, foster innovation, and explore all that Spokane County Library District has to offer. We invite you to visit one of our libraries today.
They're going to learn in a program how to use the software. Is it
Tinkercad.
Tinkercad. Thank you. And they're going to learn how to kind of create that model. Mm-hmm. And then what else? And are they going to get a product at the end? Are they going to get something printed?
Yes. Anyone who wants to submit their piece that they created in the workshop can submit it via our regular form that's on our website that anyone can use to submit designs. Okay. And we do give expedited printing to people who have been in the workshop.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about that form a little bit. So they fill out their information. If they've already have a design, they can upload the design on the form?
Yes, it has to be in STL format.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
That is short for stereolithography file.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And that's going to make sense with Tinkercad or any kind of CAD program that's probably one of the file types that's pretty common.
Yeah. Like with Tinkercad, you can choose between a few different formats to export in. And you just want to make sure you choose STL.
Perfect. And then they submit that. So if somebody's in a workshop, those are going to be kind of get the front of the line because it was part of a workshop. And then if I'm just like, I have this holiday ornament I made at home and I want to submit it, I kind of get in line and how do I know when my thing is done?
We'll contact you.
Okay. Cool.
And let you know. Then you come here to Spokane Valley.
Yeah.
To pick it up.
Now, if somebody's really brand new and they're just, they see the things we have here, and if you're listening, you're not seeing anything, but we have lots of little things that have been printed, little figures, the FlexiCat. What would be one of the ways they can learn a bit more about the printer?
Yes, if you are interested in learning more, but you're not necessarily interested in doing the workshop with a group that's, based on a specific project that we've chosen, you can always book a librarian.
Okay.
And that would be a one-on-one with a member of the 3D printing team. Half hour to an hour. Hour is the max. We try to do half hour, but sometimes things go over depending on how complicated the question or project is. Right. That is an excellent way to get started as well. Okay. And again, we just ask that anyone who books a librarian with us knows basic computer skills first.
Sure.
Because that would be a different book a librarian. If you're working on your basic computer skills, that is absolutely fine to book a librarian for that. But that's not a 3D printing book a librarian.
Yeah, there's a few more book librarians you need in between.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a really interesting concept to think about. You might have a different level of proficiency with technology than, say, your sibling, your parent, your grandparent. So if you both want to work on a project, maybe one of you might need a different appointment first to get kind of up to speed and get some help with learning some basics before you're kind of at the same level to create something. Or, if you're working as a family, maybe one person does one thing, another does another, and you submit a project together. Kind of as like one person submits it and it's a family project.
Sure.
It's an idea.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
Good. Cool. Well, I know that, my mom always has lots of ideas. Oh, what if that was like this? And I'm like thinking, what if it was? And then we don't do anything about it, but these are great ideas if we actually, drew it out and then somebody could work on the Tinkercad and get it, the way we think it should be and then print it and try it. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And you can find, if you have an idea and you want to see if someone's already done that.
Yeah.
Designing it is a lot of fun. So I'm not knocking that. Thingiverse and some other sites have just incredible stuff. And I found this assistive device that holds a pair of nail clippers.
Yeah.
And it has it has something that goes on the top as well, but it needed to be printed in a different orientation. We are also always learning. Because of the supports in the little hole slot that it goes into, it doesn't quite fit. But this will let you press down with your hand or your thumb. So, for example, my dad, not great finger strength anymore.
Right.
This would be great for him.
And you can use the whole hand instead of trying to get the fingers to do it. And yeah. That's interesting. My son has a little bit of fine motor issues. So that would be something that would be useful for him to do.
Yeah, all kinds of
like it.
Great assistive devices.
Things
to hold your pen so you can put your pen in a ball.
Oh, yeah.
To make it easier.
Yeah. So I do some crochet, and I know that there's some tricks for because the crochet hooks, it's quite usually a thin thing. You can get ones that are fatter, have a fatter handle, but they've got all kinds of ideas for adaptive assistive devices to for your grip that's ergonomic and your hand doesn't hurt as much because you're not clenching it so hard. So yeah, very cool. All right.
Yeah, and I will just add, at the last workshop we did an icebreaker where we just asked everyone in the program to tell us why they were interested in 3D printing. Nice. And it was just a really fun, diverse set of answers. It was everything from just always thought it was cool, never tried it, to someone who wants to do D&D figures. And that's definitely, we definitely get people who are into the RPG games, role-playing games, who want to do figurines. The filament we use is not the best filament for fine detail and role-playing games, but we get surprised by our own printers sometimes. Okay. These, for example, turned out really great. I know you can't really see the detail on the camera, but these, fine details. These turned out really great. We were able to even print these without supports, which is a whole nother topic of conversation. And this is a pen holder. Yes. And I got this on Thingiverse. So it was ready-made design. I didn't have to design anything. All I had to do was download it and then upload it to the forum. This printed without any supports, all of these. So that it's kind of amazing if you think about it.
Amazing modern kind of mid-century, it's got the holes. It's very fascinating.
Yeah. But, back to the people in the workshop. Yes. One of the other people in the workshop said they were designing a medical device. Oh. And they wanted to prototype it on our printer. So that's cool. And we kind of mentioned that earlier, but it's just really cool to just see the variety of types of things people can do.
And you were saying kind of is it Thingiverse?
Thingiverse.
Yeah. Kind of scrolling through. I remember this was years ago now when we first got the 3D printer and I was looking at stuff. There's some amazing things from hanging chandeliers to big chair things. It's just, obviously our printers are smaller and we're not going to print you a chair unless it's a dollhouse chair. Dollhouse stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great option. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the round cat toys with a ball in them.
Oh, yes.
Had someone print piece by piece.
Okay.
And glue them together for a cat.
That's great. Wow. So many ideas just flooding my head right now.
The latest issue of Engage is here. Inside, you'll find programs and resources for all ages and a wide variety of interests. Explore creative topics that spark the imagination. Find programs for health and wellness, financial education, gardening, and more. Hear from best-selling authors. Bring young children to weekly story times. See our STEM programs for kids. Discover digital resources that can help you pick up a new hobby and explore topics for personal and professional growth. Pick up your copy of Engage at any of our libraries or flip through the digital version today on our website at scld.org.
Okay, well, great. Anything else we should know about the 3D printer? Limitations, things people can expect?
There are definitely limitations. We won't print weapons, partially because it's just against the library
our code of conduct and policies.
Conduct and policies.
Yeah.
Also, because our polylactic acid filament, it melts at a melting point that if you were to try to create a firearm out of it,
it's not going to work.
It just simply isn't going to work.
So,
the melting point is too low. Yeah. Not to say that it's low. It still gets up to 200 degrees Celsius.
Sure.
So it's still really hot, but
Not compared to
others.
it's not metal.
It's not metal. Sure.
Yeah. Can you think of any other?
And there's some size constraints. I don't remember. There's inches or centimeters that you can only do so wide by so tall.
Yes, about 215 by 215 by 200 millimeters.
Okay.
Metric is the language of 3D printing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which is about 8.5 by 8.5 by a little over 7 inches.
Okay. So.
And we also don't print anything that takes us over 10 hours to print.
That's
because
right.
we only print when humans are in the building.
Okay. Yeah. In case there's an issue and there's hot plastic coming out of that thing. We don't want anything to happen where we have a fire or something happening, obviously.
Right.
So, we don't
Yeah. Or just any other kind of malfunction with the machine that would need attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Great.
prints go bad.
That's true. Things
true.
happen.
So yes, something
Tech happens.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It does.
Yeah. So something that's super duper detailed would take more time. Something that's big would take more time. Something that you want completely filled in and solid will take more time.
Yes.
These are things, the types of things that might not fit our time constraint.
Okay. Well, not if you have time. If you have a longer period that you can print over, you could potentially print in pieces like you're talking about,
Yes.
Diane, and glue those pieces together eventually. So, and then that 10-hour limit, I mean, I think it's pretty fair because a lot of people want to use the printer and get something printed, and the lines can get, I remember previously, the line gets long.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you're not going to get that this week. So yeah, that makes sense that we want to give everybody a shot to have something printed.
And the longer something takes, if something is a 10-hour print job and 9 hours in, it fails. Maybe the printer jams and it's not letting any filament out. And once we've got it fixed, we've got much less time to print another object.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. But but it's there and it's creative and you can really do tons of cool things with the 3D printer. Yeah. And it's free. And you guys are amazing at being able to help people learn how to do this. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
It is. Yes, it's very
It's a lot
fun.
of fun.
And I'm definitely still learning myself.
Okay.
Yes. There's a lot to know.
I think with technology, you have to always be learning, right? I mean, things advance and change, and people come in with cool ideas like, oh, I hadn't thought of that before. How are we going to make that work? It's amazing. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for the work you do. And I hope everybody who's listening and watching will come and check out the 3D printers here. And even if you don't want to print anything, you can come in the building that you can see them. They're on the floor, right kind of when you walk in, and they'll be on the right-hand side, and they're doing their jobs, making something cool. And I hope you check them out. And thank you both for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you guys next time.